there's a bell. I thought they were gonna say something after because that's normally what happens, but I guess not. Yeah. All right. So today I'm gonna talk about my boot camp experience and kind of everything that happened at boot camp for me. Things to expect, things that rumors that aren't true, what I think you guys should know. I'm gonna let y'all know. Sound good? All right. Let's go. All right. So let's talk about it. First, I'm in uniform. I'm up here in Aussie. It's all the support equipment we use to transport ordnance and stuff. I'm on duty today. It's Saturday. Basically, when I first went to boot camp, June 5th. So June 5th of 2019 was the day I went to boot camp. Let's talk about night of arrival. First thing, landed at O'Hare in Chicago, and they, up until that point, you're free. They give you meal tickets depending on where you're going from. I was from California, so from California to Chicago, we had a layover somewhere. I forget where. I want to say Georgia? No, Texas. Sorry, it was Texas. So we went, so San Diego to Texas to Chicago. We had meal tickets and all that stuff. It was good. So it was straight. We had good food and everything. It was the last seconds of our civilian life. And then we get on this bus. So you show up, and basically in the airport you'll have RDCs, so recruit divisional commanders, and those are the drill instructors, if you may. And basically what's going to happen is when you show up, you get all into a line. They do a muster. Muster is like roll call. So you hear me say muster to roll call. Go off through everybody that's supposed to be there, make sure everybody's there. Boom, they're here. If they're not there, okay, cool, their flight got delayed, whatever it may have been, right? So you meet up with them, and then after that, you get onto this bus. On the ride there, they go over all the stuff that you need to know at RTC, the Recruit Training Command Center. Oops. And so they go over everything that you need to know. They have the videos of, the Sailor's Creed, all your 11 general orders of the century, all that stuff, your chain of command. Because basically once you get there, you get asked questions. These questions are based off certain study material that they give you, whether that be basic firefighting, chain of command, rank and recognition. That's a huge one. So rank and rec is a huge one. Like what does the chief wear on the sleeve of adjustable uniform? He wears collar device, things like that. Same with petty officer first class, second class, third class, all that stuff. Most of the stuff will be asked based off of second and first classes while you're at the beginning stages, just because those are your RDCs. What's most likely going to happen is you're more than likely going to have one second class, one first class, and one chief. The chief is going to kind of be the sit back, more than likely kind of quiet, and he's going to let the first class and the second class kind of deal with everybody. Second class is going to be kind of the boom, 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 hard ass. And the first class, because the second class is, not as high of a rank, and you'll understand once you get there. But it's, honestly, I had a really fun time at RTC. I had, I think, in my opinion, the best drill instructors. Our division was the #1 division out of our training group, and we were the first training group in a couple months to have had 14 or 15 other divisions. My buddy, Dom, who just graduated, I want to say a month ago, he only had like 4 or 5, maybe 6, I think, in his training group. So there's a huge size difference. And when you're going through that drill hall, dude, we had it packed. It was crazy. Back to night of arrival. You're on the bus, you're going, and once you show up to RTC, you go through the gates, you see the gates, man, you're just like, oh, your heart starts racing. They're like, keep your head down, right? Get the head down, let's be honest here. But I would go like this. I had my head down, peeping out the window, like, where am I? What does this look like? And boom, we enter. We go in, and then all of a sudden, this RDC, this female chief, she walks up on board. She's like, get off, get off, get off. So we start, we book off, and it to me, honestly, it wasn't as intimidating as I thought. Because originally I actually had dipped in the Marine Corps back in 2017, so I was watching all these Marine videos. I'm gonna say, man, the Marines, the way that they look a lot harsher, a lot more harsh than the Navy did. So when I got off, I was like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought so far. Okay, cool. So I rushed off. You're not supposed to, from the bus to the door, you're not supposed to walk. So I already knew that, so I booked it, went there. I have my bag, I had all my stuff. You line up, so you have males on one side, females on the other, and there are these flags, you're not supposed to step over them. All these different rules that they tell you to do. The thing with boot camp is it's literally they give you, it's not like when you're out to the fleet. When you're out to the fleet, they say, hey, this is what we want done, get it done. And boot camp, they're like, this is what we want done, this is how you do it, this is when you do it, and they give you everything, and you cannot stray from it. The whole point is literally attention to detail, being able to be like, hey, this is, what we have to do, this is how we have to do it, and do it. It's honestly so simple. It's just people get into their own heads and they're stressed out, and they're like, oh, because it's so new to them, Some people have never played sports before, so if you play sports, you already have kind of a one-up because of the fact you know how to work with a team, you know how to work with other people. Unless you're that individualistic, I want the ball all the time type of guy, this could be a little bit harder for you. But, yeah, so we go, we line up, and they're just blah, 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 they're just yelling. And, there's multiple different things being said. They give us the rundown, kind of like, hey, here's the rules, here's what to do, what not to do. And then we go in, we go through this. It's basically, I didn't have to wait for a group of people to come do this in-dock process. Some people, like when you arrive, some people actually get put on, they put it, I forget what they call it, but they get put in like a holding unit, waiting for more people to arrive so that then they have enough people in a division. Because each division, is comprised of your 3 RDCs and then 60, 70 people, sometimes 100, it's incredible. But there's a certain amount that you need to actually have an established division. I think you can't go below 38 people, because otherwise during graduation you can't merge through, you don't have enough people for it. Moving on. Yeah, so we go through this whole thing. I remember the first night, man, so you piss in the cup, right? You piss in the cup, and we held it right here. We're standing up, we're in this line, we're ready to just give them this thing. We're just literally nobody around us. They're all talking, dude. They're literally all talking. They're not actually doing anything. So we're just like this, and if you dropped it, dude, they would just blast you. So we're just there. It was like, oh, it was just tedious, And so that's one thing that I remember. It was crazy, man. But yeah, dude. So we're doing all this stuff. And we got there late. So the whole thing about not getting any sleep is true. You don't get any sleep for the first 24 to 48 hours. I think for us it was only I want to say 36 hours, something like that. We didn't get any sleep. So it was rough. Get the sleep before you go, for sure. Yeah, and so we go through this whole week in dock basically. They give us all of our gear. They issue out, our NDubs. For us, Marines don't get their name tags or U.S. Marines on their stuff until a couple weeks from graduating. You get it kind of pretty quickly. But yeah, you start off, you wear your sweats, dude. I hate those sweats, man. I hated them. They just made my skin crawl. And it's when you go to boot camp, man, it's there's 2 things that are either going to happen by the end. You're either going to have lost an pretty large amount of weight in a matter of 2 months, or you're going to have gained pretty large amount of weight in the matter of 2 months. My buddy gained a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight. I went in at 213, I left at 203. I lost 10 pounds in 2 months. That's 5 pounds a month. That's not bad, man. My buddy got up to, I want to say it was 180 or something. But yeah, so it's, but you get there, man, eat everything you can. At the Pearl is so each building has a ship name, so it's named after a ship. The Pearl I'm pretty sure it's Pearl Harbor. And you go there, and it's kind of where everybody that's brand new goes. The cool thing is when you're at boot camp, you have all these different people that are telling you, hey, this is what to expect, this is what not to expect, and all this different stuff. So that's really interesting. Getting people that are 2 weeks into boot camp, 6 weeks into boot camp, and this happens throughout all of boot camp. Whenever you go to the head is the bathroom, in case anyone didn't know. Whenever you go to the head, you'll run into senior people. And then eventually you become the senior people, and you're like, man, this is what I was told. This is what's different. This is, you start helping out everybody else. But yeah, you go through this whole medical process. You get medically screened. Then they fix anything that's wrong with you. A lot of people got their wisdom teeth pulled. I didn't have to. I just had to get a little cleaning, and that was it. Easy day. Yeah. Also, with your recruiters, man, all I'm gonna say is trust your recruiter. You go into the recruiter, and they're like, hey, don't say nothing. Just this is this, man. Just do it. Just trust them. Your recruiters are going to get you in. That is their job. So just trust them. My recruiter gave me all the warnings and heads up that I needed to know about boot camp and this whole in-dock process, and easy day. But yeah, so you go through this week of indoc, and then honestly, man, the first like 3 to 4 weeks suck. So you're there for 2 months, so 8 weeks in total. That's including that 1 week of indoc. So your first week of indoc, like, you're not doing any training. You're literally, they can't even beat you. Like, you cannot get beat. Getting beat, by the way, it's not like you're getting fucking pounded. It's literally just you mess up, you get worked out. Arm circles, push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, all this different stuff, right? Yeah, so if you get like this thing called demerit shit, which is like, let's say you're not with your division, even if you are actually with your division, but let's say you're out walking, you have to go walk to medical because you got sick. So you go walk over to medical. On your way to medical, if you do something, there's certain rules and stuff you have to follow. But let's say you do something that you're not supposed to do, and somebody catches you. One of the FQA, Fleet Quality Assurance, that's what they're called, like basically the police of boot camp. They can get scary, man. But let's say you get stopped by them, they check you and you can't do nothing, or you messed up. They're gonna write you demerit shit. You have to take that back to your RDC, and then usually your RDC will beat you because that's a negative thing. You can also get a thing called a Bravo Zulu, a BZ, which is a very good thing. I got 2 BZs because my division was just great. They only wrote it to my name literally just because of the fact that I was RPOC. Yeah, so the first couple weeks, man, it's rough. It's rough. You're just like, man, I'm done. I saw so many people crack, man. We started off with like 80 people. By the 3rd week, we had like 55, and we had people come into our division. So people from other divisions got set back into our division, and then they got set back again. Some stayed. It was crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, man. Know how to swim. That's a big thing that caught a lot of people, was not knowing how to swim. So know how to swim. They teach you, man. They teach you. So if you don't know how, don't go drown-proof yourself or whatever. But just they teach you how to swim. But just try to have. I mean, if you can learn before you go, you'll be straight. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I was RPOC, which is the Recruit Chief Petty Officer. So I was like the captain of the division, basically. Right? I was the captain of the team. And then you have RPOC, AROC, MA. Those are like your top 3. So RPOC is me. AROC is the guy who does all the cadences. So you see on YouTube, if you watch some JT Sweets videos or some of just the Navy videos of boot camp, you see the guy that sings cadences. Mama, can't you see what the Navy's doing to me, and stuff like that. That's AROC. He's my second in command. So if I needed something, if I'm doing all this different stuff, let's say the RDCs came to me like, yo, how's them? Here's the deal. This is what we need done. Boom, 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 boom. Clean this space, this space, this space. I'm like, all right, cool. I go to my AROC, be like, yo, I need these 2 spaces cleaned, and I'll take other people to go the other space, something like that. Just delegating. So I delegate to him, and he'll delegate to the MA. But basically, his job is just to make my job easier. The MA's job is to make me not look like an a-hole. So if I look like an a-hole, the MA is not doing his job. Our MA was originally our AROC and all this stuff, but yeah. Okay, so throughout training, you get to, every time you go through an evolution, let's say like the small arms training, or drill, all the tests, like you can get a flag. So the more flags you have is the more well-rounded your division is, the better your division is. A lot of people think that's stupid because it doesn't matter when you get out of boot camp. They're 100% right. Nobody cares. It's just one of those things while you're in boot camp, bro, it's just keeping that competition just keeps your mind sane. I'm being serious, man. Because if I wasn't focused on that and like just being like, bro, I want to get this and this and this and this and this, I would have gone crazy, honestly, man. So having that competition mindset is also really good to have with that. So get those flags. We ended up having all of our flags. We also won Captain's Cup. Captain's Cup is what you get towards the end. It's actually, you get Gatorade at that point, man. Once you get that Gatorade, oh baby, that's good. That's real good. But yeah, it's all these different sport type stuff, volleyball, basketball. They have some stuff with firefighting equipment where you put it on and you run and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, man, I mean, overall, boot camp was honestly a pretty fun experience. Yes, you get phone calls. So you get, I think it's 2 or 3 like mandatory phone calls, but the RDCs, it's up to them on how long you get a phone call. You're allowed up to an hour. They can cut it to 10 minutes, they can cut it to 5 minutes, they can cut it to literally a minute. Be like, hey, love, you gotta go, bye. They can do what they want with that. They can also take their time marching you over there so that by the time you get there, because they have slots, right? So they reserve, you know, Thursday from 10 to 11. But if you don't get there at 10, this happened to us on our first call. We got there like 10:30, so we only had 30 minutes, but it takes a little bit to get in there, so we really had like 15 minutes to call. So it's like, it's weird, man. But you get your calls, man. If there's an emergency at home, don't worry, you're gonna be covered. Again, man, you gotta realize that the RDCs are hard on you because they want you to be better, but they're also human, so they understand everything that's going on with you as well. But yeah, let's see. I think that the best moment, my favorite moment of boot camp, man, was I woke up one morning. Apparently, I would talk in my sleep. Sometimes yell. But there's this time with the OOD. So the OOD is like basically when it's taps, which means that, you know, the lights are off, everybody's asleep. The OOD is who's in charge of that entire ship, the building, right? So if anything were to happen, the OOD is responsible for making sure everybody's okay, accounted for, all that stuff. The OOD walks into our room, our compartment, or berthing, whatever you want to call it. Compartment is boot camp, berthing is once you get to the fleet, that's what you call when you sleep. But he walks in the compartment, and I didn't know this. I was dead asleep. It's super late, and there's something going on with one of these kids. This was like second or third week of boot camp. Something going on with one of these kids that we had in our division. He was a really troubled kid, adult actually. He was 26, but he looked like he was 17. And I just remember, I remember I woke up and the guy was like, "Dude, you okay?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Bro, you told the OOD to shut the F up last night." So apparently when the OOD was talking to this other guy, apparently I lean up and I'm like, "Shut the up, get your rat," right to the OOD. And apparently the OOD thought I was awake and was about to put me on blast, and everybody that was awake was like, no, he does this all the time. And that happened multiple other times. The other time, it was a lot of times I woke up from my sleep and I'd say stuff, but wake up in the morning and not remember it. Yeah. I'd yell like, aye, petty officer, aye, chief. I'd yell out marching commands, by the left flank, march, like in the middle of my sleep, man. Yeah. Also letters, man. Letters are your best friend. They are your best friend. Get letters. Have everybody you know. Have your mom, dad, stepmom, whoever, girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, whoever it is. Have them put on social media your address once you figure it out. Have your recruiter be in contact with them. Make sure your address gets out, man, because, bro, there are people that didn't have letters, man, and when you see all these, like, dude, the first week, this kid was getting letters, man. There was this kid who was getting letters. Nobody else was, just one kid. He got like 8 letters, bro. First week. It was crazy. And everybody just went, because they're like, where's my letters, you know? Because, like, you see all these other people getting love and everything. I didn't get my letters until 2 or 3 weeks in. And I was sad, man, and I couldn't send any letters because I don't know, I didn't know my address for sure. I don't know, I forget why. But yeah, man, make sure that your address is put out there so you can have friends and family send you letters, man, because those keep you alive. Yeah, man, honestly, boot camp's not scary, man. Don't overthink it. It's very simple. It's gonna be you'll hear this, but it's the easiest time in your naval career. So once you go to boot camp, that is the easiest time. I think it's for any branch, though. I think it's for Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. Boot camp is going to be the easiest time that you have because you're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. You know, you're told how to shit. You're told how to poop. You're told how to pee. You're told when to do it. Of course, if you like have to go, they're gonna let you go. You're told how to make your rack, how to fold your clothes, how to clean the bathroom, how to clean the deck. All this stuff, how to shine your boots. That's another big thing. I like my boots real shiny, so I love doing that. Yeah, I mean they teach you everything, man. Just pay attention, calm down, and you'll be straight. But yeah, so this kind of wraps up the video for how my boot camp experience was and things that I would want to relay to everybody. You know, if there's more questions y'all have, I can do a part 2 to this and kind of answer more questions. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. If you like and subscribe, that'd be great. I'm looking to try to get, again, I said this in the last video, I'm gonna get a MacBook and everything real soon, so we can get on board and start getting some actual edits in and I'm trying to get into videography and like do like actual like cinematic type work. Again, if the sound quality was not, you know, to your standards, I apologize. I'm working off my iPhone right now. As soon as I'm able to upgrade everything and get everything going, I'm gonna let everybody know we're gonna have crazy videos, I promise. Just stay with me. I'm gonna stay consistent now. I got nothing but time, in case you can't tell. Yeah, I gotta figure out some way to like close out my videos. Don't know how to do that yet, so I'm just gonna put my hand, like very cliche, hand over the, you know. So I'm gonna go in for that now, because I'm just digging myself a hole. But yeah, alright, see y'all later.